Here to wrap up the 2016 Liberty men's soccer season, we're joined now by the head coach of the Flames, Jeff Alder. And, Coach, as you have had some time now to kind of digest the year, 7-9-2 is the record. As you look back at this season, played some tough competition, had some all-conference selections as well. What have you been able to kind of draw from this year?
Still not sleeping very good, Nick. Very disappointing. We had a great group of men. We talked to him at the banquet last night from Matthew 23, the greatest among you must become a servant. And so I really felt our group served God, served Liberty, served each other. They started out liking each other at the beginning, and they learned to love each other through the process. So in terms of that, in terms of their willingness to serve others and the money they raised, for the school supplies, the canned goods that they were able to gather for the trick or treat so others can eat, their willingness to go to RS Payne and give back with the after school Thanksgiving program. I mean, these guys got it. They all had a get it moment. So I was very proud of that. The disappointment in us losing on an own goal, I still wake up dreaming about that, because it was a game that I felt we could have won, a game that I felt we were on top of. And unfortunately, soccer is a cruel, cruel game sometimes, and it took a bad bounce and an own goal to knock us out. But there's hope for the future. Like you said, we had 7 all-conference guys this year. 6 of them were freshmen and sophomores. And so I'm looking at that group saying, man, we got a lot of young, good guys to build on. But I hurt for our seniors, because we had some special leaders. Jeremy Lee, who's given us 5 years of his best and was always willing to put the good of the group above all else. Kyle Carr and Alan and Tommy and Martine. Those are guys that'll hold a special place in my heart for life. And so we served, we grew together. I just think we got to be better. We were good this year, but not great. And we had all these 1-goal games. And part of that maturation process and that growing process is trying to figure out how to close those games out and make one more play than the opposition. And so for us, we met 2 of our 4 goals. We wanted to make the tournament. We wanted to get a home game. The other 2 that were where we left unfinished business on the table was finishing in the top 2, and then ultimately, winning a conference championship. And so we did not meet 2 of the goals. But they're in the weight room at 6 a.m. this morning. We've got a group that's galvanized, a group that wants to accomplish something, a group that got a taste this year by playing a big-time schedule of what it takes to compete at this level. Now we need to go from learning how to compete to learning how to close.
You talked about the youth and the returning talent that is on this team. 3 all-conference selections, 2 all-freshmen, Big South Attacking Player of the Year on the squad this year as well. When you look at next season and what you have coming back, is this offseason a little bit different for you than in years past?
Oh, absolutely. I can't wait to get started. And that's why we were so pumped that they got them in the weight room. The guys are working out. They're allowed to do a few things this week, and then they've got to obviously get ready for finals. But we finished 20th in the country in scoring offense. Now what we're trying to do is just create a group that's a little bit tougher mentally. We'll add some new pieces to the group, and we feel we've got some high character, high quality guys joining the Liberty Soccer family moving forward. And now it's on. Our mindset is we finished 20th in the country in scoring offense. Now let's get a little bit tougher with our team defense, because we put ourselves in position to win every one of those games this year. It's just unfortunate that some of those close games did not bounce our way. And so you look at the result where we tied American, who was 20th in the country. We had Buffalo 1-1 into overtime and unfortunately made one mistake and committed a foul in a gave up a PK, and they were ranked top 25 in the country. William and Mary was, top 30 when we played them, and we played them nose to nose. So we were in every one of those games. Now it's just saying, okay, let's take all these experiences, let's grow, let's learn, develop, and then moving forward, we got to close. We got to have a bunch of closers. But the spring's going to be fun. We're really excited about the youthful enthusiasm. We've got a lot of guys who love to compete, and then now it's getting them a little bit stronger mentally, a little bit stronger physically, but it's going to be a fun group to move forward with.
And given that Big South soccer is such a strong league, and as you go forward, when you think about the goals that this team has heading into next year, you mentioned a few of them earlier on. Where is the bar for this team going into next year?
And that's it. I think the ceiling, there is a ceiling that's so high for this group, and then now what we've got to do is push them to that greatness. We've got to challenge them academically, athletically, socially, spiritually, to stay sold out for what we're doing for God, stay true to the mission, stick to the plan, and that's why we spend so much time talking about servanthood. Where if you can always put the good of the group before yourself, and if you can always recognize, soccer's what you do, not who you are, and you identify who you are in Christ, then you've got a great chance moving forward. But there's no ceiling on this group because we feel we've got great character, we've got great talent. Now it's just, I need him to grow up a little bit faster. Every day I look in the mirror and I got a couple gray hairs peeking through, and that's attributed to all these close games that we're in. But eventually, if we stay true to the mission, God's going to reward these guys. And I'm excited to see what he's going to do. The pain's still there. The suffering's still there. In the midst of what we went through this year, all these close games and the way we finished the season, it left a very bad taste in my mouth, and it left a very bad taste in the group's mouth. And that's driving them. The day after the season ended, I drove by the practice field, and we had about 17 or 18 guys out there playing pickup soccer. And I was like, man, that is great. And so that's going to help the healing process. Getting in the weight room is going to help the healing process. Now it's just saying, okay, let's get them back here this spring, and let's get after it again.
Coach, appreciate the time. Good luck coming up here in the offseason.
All right, thanks. Go Flames.
That's the head coach of the Liberty men's soccer team, Jeff Alder. My name is Nick Pierce for the Liberty Flames Sports Network.